Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. It was sometime after 10 o'clock on the morning of Wednesday, March 15, 2013. I was on my way to an assignment in Westmoreland, traveling via the Petersfield route in a Gleaner vehicle. The quietness of the morning was interrupted by the sounds of blaring police sirens from behind. My driver slowed to allow the vehicles to pass. An open-back police vehicle sped by us. The vehicle had 3 pair of legs hanging out over the back. Within moments, 2 other police vehicles sped by. However, instead of continuing along the main road, the 3 vehicles suddenly slowed and then pulled into a side road. As we drove by, we saw policemen gesticulating as if they were quarreling as they stood outside the vehicle with the 3 pair of legs. I figured something was not right. I urged the driver to turn around and head back in the direction that we had come so that we could find out what had happened to cause this strange situation that was unfolding before us. As we drove back into Petersfield, we saw a small crowd in the square, and on seeing the marked Gleaner vehicle, some persons began pointing in the direction of Shrewsbury, while others were shouting, "Round there, so Gleaner, police just murdered 3 men round there." When we got to the scene, we saw scores of persons crying while others were calling out for justice. Amid the confusion, we learned that an individual had an issue with the men over a disputed plot of land, had mischievously called the police saying he had seen 3 gunmen in the area. He reportedly gave the description of the 3 men and the location where they were. The police team, which reportedly responded to the report and rushed to the location, spotted the 3 churchmen, one of whom was also a reputable fireman. They were all inside a shop. The police reportedly opened gunfire on them, killing all 3. In this edition of Lest You Forget, I will be revisiting that incident from the 2 stories I wrote for the Gleaner, which were published on March 23, 2013, under the headline, "They Were Slaughtered in Cold Blood," and on March 20, 2013, under the headline, "Firefighters Protest Colleagues Killing." The first story read as follows. Anger is still brewing in the Shrewsbury district near Petersfield, Westmoreland, where 3 young men were killed in an alleged police shootout, which residents claim was cold-blooded murder. They are lying. No shootout took place here, an elderly resident told the Gleaner on Wednesday. The men were slaughtered in cold blood. They were no thugs. They were law-abiding young men, and we are not going to have the police destroy their good names. In the incident, which sparked several days of protests in Westmoreland and in sections of St. Elizabeth, brothers 28-year-old fireman Andrew Bryson and 24-year-old Tristan Bryson and their cousin 38-year-old chef Kingsley Green were killed at a shop where they had gone to buy refreshments. Following the shooting and subsequent protests, 2 policemen from the Savalamar police station were removed from frontline duty. Carl Angel, Director of Communication at the Constabulary Communication Network, in a press release acknowledged the shooting and said 2 guns, a pistol and a rifle, were seized following the shooting. But the residents are questioning this. Everybody in Shrewsbury know that no illegal guns were taken from the men, a resident said. "We believe the police have an arsenal of illegal guns to plant and people they kill without justification. If they said they made a mistake, we would accept that," an elderly woman told the Gleaner. "However, we will not accept any version that says the men were killed in a shootout and that illegal guns were seized from them." Pastor Vincent Cole of the Shrewsbury Church of God, where the men were members, said the congregation was still badly shaken up by the incident. "I have had to be doing a lot of counseling and consoling as the people are grieving," said Cole. "There was no shootout. It was an unprovoked attack by the police and it has upset the people." While the relationship between the police and the residents appear to be in tatters, some residents say they want to make it clear that they are not anti-police. "We are not against the police. We just want those who have done wrongs to be punished, said a church brother of the deceased men. These men were among the best among us. It would be a shame if we did not stand up for justice for them. The second story read as follows. Firefighters in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland set aside their hoses, axes and other firefighting equipment yesterday and took to the streets to protest last Friday's shooting death of one of their colleagues by the police. 28-year-old firefighter Andrew Bridson, his brother Tristan Bridson, and their cousin Rupert Green were killed in a controversial police operation which has left the community of Shrewsbury near Petersfield stunned and in mourning. Since the incident, described as a cold-blooded slaughter by the residents, there has been major demonstrations in Petersfield, Savannah Lamar, Darliston, Negril, and as far away as the neighbouring parish of St. Elizabeth, where some of the relatives of the deceased men reside. While the police are still contending that the men were killed in a confrontation in which they seized 2 firearms, 1 rifle and a pistol, the residents are adamant that the men were unarmed and were victims of trigger-happy police personnel who failed to investigate before unleashing deadly force. Since a series of protests started, 2 policemen who are believed to have participated in the shooting incident have been removed from frontline duty. Their removal was yesterday confirmed by Superintendent Carl Mackenzie, the commanding officer for the Westmoreland Police Division. Back in Shrewsbury District, Pastor Vincent Cook, who leads the Shrewsbury Church of God, where the men were members, said he has been comforting church members full-time as the congregation is badly shaken by the incident. These were God-fearing men who were not involved in any criminal activities, said Cook. There was no shootout. It was an unprovoked attack by the police, and we will not accept their version of what happened because that is not the truth. While it is still unclear as to whether or not the implicated police officers face justice for their action, this story was definitely one of those unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Before you go, please remember to subscribe.